Hello everyone and welcome back to One Bag, One World. We are back to our regularly scheduled program of reviewing travel backpacks, and I've got a very special one for you today. This is the Tomtoc 40-liter Navigator T-66 laptop bag. Now this is listed as somewhere between 38 and 40 liters. Now this bag is made from 1680D 100% post-consumer recycled plastic fiber. So this is a polyester fiber that is made from about 30 recycled plastic water bottles. The bag comes in at about 1,200 grams, 1.2 kilos, or roughly like 2.5 pounds. Now this bag is cheap. It'll set you back about $90, $89.99 at the time of writing this. I didn't really see any sales for Memorial Day weekend if you're in the US, so I think there's really not a bad time to buy this bag. It is a great bag. For that cheap price, you're still getting premium materials like YKK zippers, which you don't typically find at this price point. Now it's called the laptop bag. It fits a 17.3 inch laptop along with a 13-inch Mac iPad. It has a 3D back panel here, which is really great, extremely comfortable to wear. It has air channel, luggage pass-through, great shoulder straps. There is no hip belt on this bag, but at this price point, you wouldn't really expect one. And it is a very comfortable carry. Now, before we get into the exterior, this bag is about 20.5 inches by about 13.39 inches by about 9.06. Very specific dimensions, but it is well within carry-on compliance rules. And again, it's about 38 to 40 liter bags. They say that depends on how you pack it, which is kind of interesting because you think the capacity would always be the same, but you know, I guess your mileage may vary there. Okay, so let's get into this bag. Now I took this bag on a little weekend trip, but I packed it out as if I was going for a week, and it fit everything really well. Again, it is a large bag, about 38 to 40 liters, and it's in my opinion, a very sleek looking bag. I really like this feel of the 1680D. It's always been a favorite fabric of mine. I just tend to find that it's typically a little bit heavy. However, at about 2.5 pounds, 1,200 grams, that's really not that bad. It has a quick access pocket right here on the side. I like these kind of side pockets. It's just a shallow pocket, maybe between these compression buckles right here. That's about the extent of it, and it goes all the way across this panel. And then you get this kind of sleeker looking water resistant fabric right here. That's one thing to talk about. There isn't a lot of built-in water resistance in terms of, you know, AquaGuard zippers. I don't know if there's DWR coating. It's not something they call out specifically, but I do like that this quick access pocket, for example, is hidden behind this overhang of fabric here that is definitely going to help if this bag gets wet. Now I mentioned compression straps. There are two sets of compression straps on each side. These are buckles because you need to unclip them in order to gain access into the main part of the bag, which does have a duffel style access opening. So you zip that open and then you have access to the main compartment, but that is not the only way into this bag. There are a lot of zippers on this bag, but they're all very well hidden, and I like this overhang of fabric. I think it does a really nice job of making the bag look sleek. There were actually only like 2-3-star reviews on their website about this bag, nothing lower than that. And one of them was that there's, you know, kind of too much dangle going on. I personally, I've seen bags with dangle. Six Moon Designs has a lot of dangle, but it's obviously kind of a very bespoke hiking / travel bag. This bag does not have a lot of dangle in my experience, but you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The other 3-star review I want to say is that there's not enough laptop padding or storage. And when we get there, I'll leave that up to you to decide. I personally didn't feel like it was a big deal, but I understand maybe if you're super paranoid about your bag, maybe you just want to get an extra laptop sleeve. I leave that up to you. I do find that the laptop compartment is padded well enough. Now on the back here, there are another 2 compression straps. These don't have buckles because they don't get in the way of the zipper, so it's just a typical cinch down strap. You can see that it does pull in this fabric. It definitely creates a U here. I mean, that's what these compression straps are designed to do, especially if you don't have it that full like I don't right now. Just while we're on the back here, there is another quick access pocket right here. This is what you're gonna use when you're going through transit, in my opinion. I've got my sunglasses, little phone clamp, headphones. That's just where I've been tossing everything. I really like those top quick access pockets. And there's not a lot in the way of branding, just this little Tomtoc label right here at the top. That's basically all you're gonna see throughout the bag. I really like it though, it's very sleek. There are 2 external water bottle pockets on the side here with a stretchy neck right here. Someone mentioned you could fit an Nalgene in these. I did not try with an Nalgene, but I am able to fit a pretty big size water bottle. Definitely any standard water bottle will fit in here, no problem. Now there is, I did find this pretty cool. There's basically like a fold up piece of hard, like foam, kind of, I don't even know, plastic maybe, that you can feel right here. That's what this lip is. You can see that there's a lip at the bottom of this bag, and you can leave it flat against the back if you want it to be very floppy, but you can fold it down and it does give this bag some structure. It does help it stand up. It is a really nice feature. It does give you some extra added protection to the bottom of your bag. You do have one very extremely padded handle at the top here. It is very, very soft. I really, really like this handle. very comfortable. And then you have a less padded, but still padded. It's not just fabric right here on the side for kind of duffel carry. And on the back here, you have a sternum strap. You have these kind of strap keepers, elastic. I really like that. They have them on the shoulder strap adjustments as well at the bottom. It's just a very nice touch for a budget bag to have things like this. There's a little strap right here, you know, to clip some accessories on. I see some people put their travel pillow, some people put their USB speaker, Bluetooth speaker, but it's great that this bag really hasn't skimped on any of the features or functionality that you find in most of these bags that come at a more premium price point. And speaking of that, there is luggage pass-through right here, just one big strap, but you can fit your trolley handle right through there. And then you'll notice that there is this kind of 3D foam elevated padding in these 4 quadrants of the bag. That is what makes this bag so comfortable to carry. That means you have an air channel running down here and an air channel down the side, and it is just super, super well placed. This is right up against your lower back. This is up against your shoulder blades. High contact points when you're carrying the bag. It helps distribute the weight a little bit, I found. The shoulder straps are super soft. It's almost like kind of beanbaggy material, but a little bit firmer, but it's incredibly soft. It's this breathable mesh that you feel all the way through, but they're still firm. I like the rounded corners. They don't dig in. I like the attachment points at the top of the bag. I feel like they're well placed with the bag. It helps keep the bag looking small. Again, no load lifters, no hip belt, but you're not really gonna find that at this price point in my opinion. And when you get to the back of the bag, I'm gonna show you the laptop compartment, because this is one of the cool features of this bag. Now, there was a period in time, I don't know if you guys remember, where there was this big thing about TSA approved laptop compartments. It would fold down like 180 degrees and TSA would be like, awesome, thanks, go right through. That has never worked in my experience, but they still have that here. But I honestly don't really care. I don't really think that's a marketing gimmick for this bag in particular, because you also gain access to the main compartment right here. So when you open this up, not only do you have your laptop over here, which is great, but you can also then get into the main part of your bag super easily. Now again, I mentioned that this could fit a 17.3-inch laptop. That's in this space right here. And then right in front is enough space for a 13-inch iPad. There's a little Velcro strap here that'll keep those devices secure while in transit. And there is padding. I mean, in that review, I didn't understand, because this does have a lot of protection, in my opinion, way more so than some other bags that I've seen, which is basically just, you know, like a piece of fabric or like stretchy mesh. This feels to be very well padded, and especially up against this back panel, it feels solid. I definitely don't have any concerns about my laptop being in here. I don't travel with an iPad, but I would probably use this for my second monitor. Right now I've just got my, you know, Bluetooth keyboard in here. There's also some storage over here if you want to put your charging cables in this mesh area, you know, your laptop power adapter. I haven't used it. I've been actually using their tech kit, which I'll talk about. It's in the main part of the bag, but I do really like their tech kit. They sent me that as well. And I've also got my Roost laptop stand, which I just wanted to call out specifically, fits perfectly right here in the front of this bag. So width-wise, you can put your Roost right at the bottom. There's even like a little indent because the laptop has a false bottom. The laptop sleeve has a false bottom right here, so it's not gonna go all the way down, and that's perfect for your Roost to slide right in. Perfect, well done them. Now, on the other side of this, again, we've got this mesh pocket. There are no more pockets up at the top here, but there are these little pull tabs. And this reminds me of the Peak Design packing cube, which I love. And what you do is you just pull and it gives you access to the main compartment. They also have these 2 zippers that go all the way down. And then, although I'm just gonna use the pull tabs because I really like the feeling. Boom. You are now in the main compartment of your bag, which is really, really great. So you just have this thin layer of fabric, and maybe that's what that one reviewer was talking about, that anything you have in here basically just has this thin layer of fabric between that stuff and your laptop, but there's enough padding on that compartment, I promise you. You get in the main compartment of your bag, and this is your 38 to 40 liters of capacity along with that laptop area. This is the Peak Design Medium Cube. I use it in all my packing videos because it is my favorite packing cube by far. And that kind of gives you an idea of how much space there is. This is fairly well packed out, but there's still room on the sides if I wanted to put my sandals. I've got my mini bomber travel kit. This is my toiletry kit. I love this thing, but it's not really made anymore, so sorry. I've just got my Sea to Summit clothing line, medium packing cube, and you can see the capacity you kind of have. I have a couple things up in this quick access compartment. You'll see that it comes into the main space, but not by much. You do really feel like you have your own dedicated capacity in this main area, and the walls do maintain their shape. So you do get a good idea of what exactly can fit in here. And then I've got my merino wool hoodie right here. This is a must for me on flights just because it packs down to nothing. Packable day pack from Matador, passport. And that is a big bucket of space. You know, you can just see how much room there is in here. It's just one big bucket, but I really like that it maintains its shape. There's weight in the front right now because I do have stuff in this top pocket, but it's still maintaining its shape. Now I talked to you about that kind of hard piece of like molded foam or plastic. That's this right here, and you see that it folds up and then the bag gets a little floppier. Now, if you are worried about stuff pushing up against your laptop, you can just leave this up like this and have some support or some protection for your laptop compartment. But I obviously keep it folded flat. It helps give the bag some more structure, which I really like. And it just, I feel like kind of gets it out of the way. Now you can see here, there's this zipper lining around the interior of this bag, and that is because that is the duffel access from the front. Now, I did read some reviews on Amazon about zippers failing, but in my experience, that has never happened with YKK. Someone else complained about stitching. I've been on the lookout for this because I did want to see if it would fail at this price point. I haven't had any issues with stitching, and there are over like 4,000 people that have reviewed this bag, or 3,500 on Amazon, and those were only a handful of the reviews, so I think it's safe to say that overall this is a very well-built bag. There may be just a couple people that have had some issues, but in my experience, that's everyone with every bag, every company. No one is free from, you know, maybe manufacturing defects or issues in the factory. They're gonna get through somehow, but they do have a 2-year warranty, and they seem like a really great company. I love companies that provide great bags at low price points, because price should not be a barrier to any of this stuff, to traveling. You should be able to find a way to do it, and I like companies that help support that. Now I mentioned I was using their tech kit. This is the Tomtoc 1 liter tech kit. I typically just kind of throw things in like one pouch, and this is exactly what this is. It's 1 liter worth of space. It's got a nice little grab handle here at the back. I like this wrist leash. It's kind of nice, especially if I'm going to the office or something. I can just kind of hang this around my wrist. It's got a little tab here and a zipper pull, so it makes it easy to close. I really enjoy that. And then a little T for the Tomtoc branding, as well as the logo / brand name right on the front. This thing fit a ton of stuff. I absolutely stuffed it. I typically don't travel with all this stuff, but we were doing a staycation, so I had some extras that I don't typically bring. I've also been playing around with some electronics from Rav Power. They sent me some really cool stuff. So this is a 100-watt magnetic USB cable. I've been loving this thing because it coils up perfectly, and one of the things that I always hate is bringing little like Velcro ties for all of my cables. This thing is great. It's 100 watt, it's like 6 feet, but then it just coils up and it's magnetic, and it's just, it's very nice. It's very satisfying to play with and to pull apart, and then it just goes like that, and then when you're done, it's all back in a perfect coil, snaps to itself. I just love this thing, really cool. They also sent me a 65 watt GAN charger. Now, if you've been looking for a charger for your laptop, you pretty much want 65 watt, especially if you're rolling with a MacBook, and you want GaN, that's gallium nitrate. That is the technology that is allowing us to make these so small today. And it's got a power delivery USB-C port, as well as a regular USB-A port, which is pretty much all you need if you can be smart about your charging. You might need a couple extra ports. Sometimes I do find that 2 isn't enough, but 2 is kind of like my minimum. I'll never go below 2. I never really like just the one USB-C, because I typically always have to charge my laptop plus something else. And it's small, it's lightweight, fits right in the middle of that, and that's pretty much all you need. Again, I was just stuffing stuff in here to see how much it could take. Pocket tripod, my mouse, that one I actually do carry with me. Got a bunch of other cables here, some HDMI cables. I wasn't sure which one was working, so I brought both of those. This is maybe my favorite power bank. This is the Nitecore Carbo 1000. I love this thing just because it's so small, or sorry, 10,000 for the 10,000 milliamps that it carries in capacity. Really, really great power bank if you're looking to save space and weight. However, Rav Power also sent me 2 power banks that are great. I don't have them with me because I have one in my car that I've been keeping there, but it's really cool. It's USB-C, plugs right into the bottom of your phone like a little bar, so it's super easy to carry. I don't have to have an extra cable. Same with the other one. I don't need an extra cable. It's got a USB-C cable built into it. And then that USB-C cable, when not in use, is basically like a finger loop, so you can just kind of hold it. Really, really great, cool power technologies. Rav Power has been actually a brand name that has come up a lot, especially when I was beginning my Onebag journey. So many people talked about them, and I've only recently started to actually discover their products, and it's been great. I really, really love their stuff. If you're looking for any power related accessories, cables, if you're looking for power banks, definitely go check them out. The other brand I would recommend in the space is Anchor. They've kind of been a powerhouse and a name brand for a long time. And then the only other one I would recommend strictly just for this power bank is Nitecore. You can get it on Amazon, but they also have a website. Super, super cool company. In here, just some dongles and adapters. Now, this is basically a bucket. You've got one kind of 3D pocket back here, and then you've got a zippered mesh pocket on the front side for loose things like little dongle adapters, my USB-C to micro USB adapters. It allows me to travel with just one cable. And then on the other side, you've got some elastic loops right here if you want to put a stylus or a pen. And then you've got 3 pockets. This might be for camera gear. I've stuffed my Ethernet cable and then my Kickerland travel adapter broken apart, one into each pocket. And it's been the perfect size. So I really, really like the organization on this bag. I don't find it to be overkill, which I do find on a lot of tech kits. They just seem over-engineered for me. I definitely prefer like a big bucket, but the minimal amount of organization included here is just perfect. Really nice job. Well done, Tomtoc. I love it. It's got some good foam padding. It feels like everything in here is very well protected. And again, it's got YKK zipper, so you know they didn't skimp on the materials. All right, let's show you how it all looks on me. All right, now for those of you that are new to the channel, I am 5'9", about 185 pounds, plus or minus, maybe closer to 180, 175. But this is what it looks like, fully loaded out. There's definitely room for more. I didn't completely pack it out, but it is quite full. And there aren't load lifters, so I'm not gonna be able to pull it up and closer to my back, but I feel like you don't need it on this bag. Same with the hip belt. This bag is so incredibly comfortable. I wish I could find a way to let you feel this through this video, but it is so soft. It is a very pleasurable bag to carry, and I talked to a buddy who took this to Europe and he absolutely fell in love with it. He said it was one of his favorite travel bags. At a non-premium price point, you can't ask for much more. Now, just a quick fit check. What I'm wearing right now is all Aviator gear. If you haven't heard of Aviator Clothing, they make really cool travel gear. These are their men's travel jeans. They're super soft, like a super stretchy material with like 5 zippered pockets. I have a whole review series coming up on travel clothing and kind of best in slot travel clothing and accessories. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to be notified of that. And this is what the bag looks like. One last time. All right, well, that is it for the Tomtoc 40-liter T-66 travel bag. I hope you really enjoyed this review. As always, please don't forget to check the description down below. Typically, there's a link that will help support the channel at no additional cost to you if you are so inclined. However, we typically also get coupon codes for some of these bags that will help save you a couple bucks, typically like 10-15%. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I do my best to try and get back to all of you guys in a timely manner. Thank you for your patience though, if it takes a couple days. And thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, we've got a ton of great gear coming, a lot of great gear reviews. So have a great day, take care.